From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
The rain has been coming down across central Indiana for much of the day so far. It's making for a soggy beginning to the long Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Thanks for joining us this midday. I'm Lauren Casey, and Todd Clausen is joining me in studio today for this WRTV Storm Team Alert Day. And Todd, we had stuff on radar all morning long during the show, and it's still there.
Yeah, the rain was widespread this morning, came down heavy at times, a little over 0.8 of an inch of rain officially at the airport in Indianapolis. We're kind of transitioning now from that widespread rain to more isolated showers, which is good news, but unfortunately, as we progress here throughout the afternoon hours, we could add in the element of a severe weather to the forecast. This is just plain old rain, no lightning, but some pretty good downpours near Greencastle, pushing into Hendricks County in the Danville area. It's sliding just north of Martinsville, and some light showers in and around the metro area. Some scattered showers here off towards the east. But let me show you the bigger picture. And there goes all the rain from yesterday. The center of low pressure is still off to our west, and that's what has to rotate through our area here this afternoon. So everything's going to be spotty throughout the afternoon hours, but anytime after 3 o'clock, you notice we're starting to see on TrueCast these isolated cells here, and those are the ones that could potentially produce some strong gusty winds and maybe even an isolated tornado, and then the rain showers will start to diminish later on this evening. So for today's severe threat, by far the main threat would be damaging wind. The secondary threat, an isolated tornado. The timing from about 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Storm Prediction Center has us under the marginal risk for severe weather. Once we get past 7 o'clock, there'll still be some showers around this evening, but the severe threat will come to an end. We'll talk more about your Thanksgiving forecast and this severe threat coming up in Maine weather in just a couple minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. As we get into the Thanksgiving weekend, COVID-19 cases remain high in Indiana. The state health department says that the number of new cases is back over the 6,000 mark today after being below that level for the last 2 days. 63 additional COVID-19 deaths were also reported by the health department. That pushes Indiana past the 5,200 mark since the pandemic started. And the pressure on Hoosier hospitals continues. Another record has been set for the total number of COVID-19 patients today, with 3,363. The health department also has updated its COVID-19 color-coded map. This is a little change in the community spread measurements in central Indiana. All of the area counties are in the orange. It's the next to worst category. Most counties are also in the higher end of that orange measurement, and that means those counties could go red next week if new cases and the positive test rate continues to rise. The only county in the entire state that's in the yellow right now is Rush County. We'll see whether the governor's office plans any more measures to crack down on the worsening numbers this afternoon at the governor's weekly coronavirus news conference. You can watch it live at 2:30 this afternoon right here on WRTV. We'll also have it for you at WRTV.com and on our Facebook page and on your favorite streaming platforms such as Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, and Apple TV. There's new concerns that people are starting to lose their jobs again just as the holiday season is getting underway. First-time claims for unemployment benefits are on the rise once again. In Indiana, more than 20,000 Hoosiers filed for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. That's the first time the number has been above the 20,000 mark since July. Nationally, unemployment claims are also rising, with almost 800,000 Americans filing last week. The Department of Labor says that more than 20 million Americans are still receiving unemployment benefits. Healthcare professionals say today is one of the biggest days of the year for the consumption of alcohol. Some people drink as they arrive for holiday visits with family and friends, but doctors, they're more worried about people who might be drinking alone this holiday week because of the pandemic. We spoke to Bailey Trotter. She's a licensed mental health counselor. She tells us hospitals and recovery centers are preparing for a rise in alcohol-related cases.
Let's say it really is just you at home drinking to excess. Alcohol is very poisonous to the human body, and you are a human being just like your families are. And so damaging yourself in that way is not healthy either.
Well, if you're working to maintain your sobriety, Trotter encourages you to connect with those you love. It could be your family, friends, or someone else who's also in recovery. For Thanksgiving, you may be planning on seeing family or getting together with friends, but doctors in our area want you to think twice before you do that. They say the pandemic fatigue and relaxing some of the measures you've been taking to help slow the spread of COVID-19 can lead to an increase in cases. Leaders at Community Health Network say you should keep your gatherings small, eat outside, keep doors and windows open to promote airflow if you're indoors. With guests, you should wear masks as much as possible. Those who are higher risk for complications from COVID-19 should also avoid gatherings altogether. One doctor tells us he expects more cases, hospitalizations, and deaths in the coming weeks.
I don't even know if we're planning for it. I would guarantee within the 14 days after Thanksgiving, there definitely is going to be a spike. It's just inevitable. There's so many people traveling, college kids coming home and so on. So it is inevitable.
Community Health Network tells us they have plenty of ICU beds available for COVID patients. Their concern is having the staff to care for those patients. Dr. Uletti says that several hundred employees are currently in quarantine due to coronavirus exposure. Thanksgiving Day will mean the return of a downtown tradition that will still go on despite the pandemic. The bronze cherub is once again set to mysteriously appear on the old Ellis Ayres clock at Washington and Meridian Streets just before tomorrow morning. The cherub first began appearing outside of the old Ayres department store in 1947. The clock has been undergoing restoration and the cherub has been buffed up as well. Indiana Landmark shared this video of the facelift, so when the cherub returns, it will be shinier and cleaner than ever before as it watches over downtown shoppers until Christmas Day. Maybe wearing a mask, we'll have to see. Well, you may be among the Hoosiers are already in the holiday spirit. You've already put up your lights and decorations. So share a picture with us here at WRTV for a chance to win tickets to the Christmas Nights of Lights show at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. The contest ends on December 6th, so for more information, you can go to WRTV.com and click on the contest tab. Thanksgiving is tough for a lot of Hoosiers this year. Next, how one local organization fought through the rain this morning to help make the holiday a little happier for families with new bundles of joy. Todd.
And Lauren, it's been a wet morning all across the area. Now as we transition into the afternoon, the severe threat is going to increase as the actual area of low pressure makes its way through. It's approaching St. Louis right now, but some strong to severe storms will be possible in our forecast after 3 p.m. We'll talk all about it coming up when the News at Noon continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. With the economy still very slow due to the pandemic, more Hoosiers are taking advantage of Thanksgiving meal giveaways to help feed their families tomorrow. So this morning, more than 300 meal boxes were handed out during a drive-through giveaway event sponsored by the Little Timmy Project and Cafe Baby. That's on the northeast side. It's a store that makes handmade baby food.
I think everybody needs to do their part in the community right now to spread the love. There's so much division and just fear with COVID going on right now. So we wanted to do our part in the community to spread some love and just show people that there are businesses out there that do care for them.
88 Central Indiana families registered for today's giveaway. Each family received an entire Thanksgiving meal along with diapers and baby formula. We need your help to give children across Central Indiana a Merry Christmas. Through the 20th annual WRTV Toy Drive, we're collecting new unwrapped toys at U-Store locations across Central Indiana between now and December 11th. You'll be able to donate your toys to WRTV personalities in person at several area Simon malls on December 5th. There's also more information on how you can make a financial donation at WRTV.com/toy drive. Well, it's a tough call, and you get criticized no matter what you do. Next, we hear from school superintendents on how they make those tough choices when it comes to how students will learn in this pandemic. And let's take a live look outside on this day before Thanksgiving. Typically a busy travel day, maybe not so much this year, but if you are heading out on the roads, you'll have to contend with the rain that's out there. Todd Clausen will have the rest of the forecast for today as well as your holiday weekend. That's all coming up here on the News at Noon. Welcome back. Our kids and their schools have been hit hard by this pandemic. Many districts have changed from all virtual to hybrid, to some all in person, back to hybrid, back to virtual again. It's just been all across the board. And so our Kara Kenny met with several superintendents during our WRTV News special Inside the COVID Crisis. They talked about what goes into their decision making and how they're planning for the winter months.
It has taken so much time and effort to get to this point. And now what do we have? Winter. You know, health officials are saying they're expecting a double whammy this winter when you've got COVID-19 and the flu, people heading indoors. Dr. Smith, how are you planning for that, or can you even plan for that?
Well, it's certainly challenging. I remind people we deal with this every year. Flu, cleaning our buildings, shutting them areas off to do deep cleaning. We do that all the time. But with COVID-19, there's just so many uncertainties. And I just want to compliment all the health people. I know in Marion County, we work very closely with the Marion County Health Department and Dr. Kane and her group. I'm going to lean on the health professionals to give us guidance on what our next steps are going to be.
Well, I think one thing, as Dr. Smith alluded to, working very closely with Dr. Kane and the Marion County Health Department, they've set some parameters and guidelines. And so, I am on the website daily checking to see where our rates are and how the numbers are moving and what that might mean. I think for us, we were able to make that investment in technology so that every single one of our students now has a device. The family needs Wi-Fi access. We've provided it so that if we need to shift the learning mode, we're able to do that. And we're able to do that in a nimble way.
We are very fortunate that a good thing that's happened because of the pandemic is that we have moved almost to one-to-one. Every family or every student who needed a device has one. Every family that did not have internet has it. And so we're able to take care of that so that we really do have an equitable educational environment. I would tell you one of the things we're trying to prepare for, but I'm starting to get a little bit nervous, and that is the lack of substitute teachers. We know that when we have to quarantine or if somebody is sick or with the flu and COVID-19, I'm getting a little nervous on days where we have a large number of people who are ill and the sub pool is very small.
We've been finding substitutes more and more difficult to find for several years. And this year is even harder to find substitutes to come into our buildings and help support and keep learning going. So we've absolutely found that. We found that we have to constantly communicate and remind people of what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Let's end on a positive note. Let's talk about some of the successes that you've had, or what is the one great thing that has come out of this pandemic?
For me, it's just that we've been able to sort of prove what's possible, right? We were put into this very challenging, felt impossible position. And yet, as you've listened to all of us, we've all found ways to creatively, responsibly, and responsibly respond really quickly to this. And so I'm really proud that I think we've been able to demonstrate as public educators how flexible and agile we can be.
This is our year of reimagining education. Things are very different, but they're different in a way that we've been able to respond in a really quick amount of time. And so for us, we weren't one-on-one, and so now we're very close to it. But what we're doing now is to being able to deliver instruction remotely for families who choose. And so the great thing about that is that we have educational equity because nobody's left behind because of that.
We learned very quickly that we, like Dr. Flores said, just reimagining learning and teaching in school. We're making it happen.
There are things that we've been forced to learn that we're going to keep doing forever because we've come up with some great creative solutions that work and will endure beyond this pandemic. And our teachers are creative by nature, but their level of creativity to meet the needs, the incredibly diverse needs growing even further apart during this time, is just amazing what they're doing for our kids.
Well, that report was from WRTV's Kara Kenny. The coronavirus has also had a devastating impact on long-term care facilities across Indiana. Kara's going to take a closer look at what they're doing to help stem the outbreak tonight on the news at 6 o'clock. You can also watch our entire WRTV news special, Inside the COVID Crisis, right now on our website, WRTV.com. Back to today and the forecast. It's an alert day, Todd. So what do people need to expect on this day before the holiday?
Yeah, it's been a really wet day for us so far. Anywhere from a half an inch to about an inch of rain has fallen across central Indiana. And there's still some showers out there, but we're kind of transitioning now to the threat of scattered showers and the storms in the forecast. And some of those storms could be severe as we head into, I would say, mid to late afternoon, early evening. And then even after the severe threat ends, there's still going to be some showers around throughout the entire evening. So you need to have the umbrella handy, but you especially need to be weather aware here over the course of the 3 to 7 o'clock time frame. Here's where we stand right now. Still have some spots spotty showers and a pretty good downpour here from Danville over towards the Brownsburg area. This is sliding into Avon. Some lighter showers through the metro area down into Greenfield and into Shelbyville as well. And some light showers in Greenwood as well as Franklin, and a few more off towards the eastern side of the state. This is kind of a last hurrah for the steady rainfall moving through. You notice there's a little bit of a break, but notice the showers filling in here, and then you have more showers near St. Louis, and you notice this spin. That's where we find this area of low pressure. And all this has to rotate through the area later on this afternoon. And the Storm Prediction Center has us under the marginal risk for severe weather. That's the lowest threat level on the spectrum of our storm threat scale. So we're not expecting widespread severe weather, but some isolated storms are definitely going to be a possibility. And look at it here on TrueCast, how some of these storms start to blossom on an isolated basis throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. These are the cells that could contain the gusty winds and maybe the chance of an isolated tornado. Not completely out of the question. Threat's pretty low. And then once we get past sunset, here's those spotty showers that'll linger till about midnight, but the heaviest of the rain will be over. So the main threat will be some lightning and some gusty winds. Can't rule out the chance of an isolated tornado, but again, if we do see one, isolated is the key word there. And Kevin will be in here throughout the afternoon with Kyle to walk you through any warnings that do get issued, if they get issued at all, and of course have the Storm Shield app handy. Thankfully, temperatures have been well above freezing. We're in the 50s right now, so all this has just been rain. The winds will pick up outside of any thunderstorms and gust up to about 25 to 30 miles per hour this afternoon and evening. So it's going to be a windy afternoon. It's going to be wet. And as we go into Thanksgiving, the wind will start to die down. That is the good news. Tomorrow's mainly a dry day. It's just not a bright day for us for your Thanksgiving Day plans. Mostly cloudy skies, high temperatures right around 50 degrees. Friday and Saturday are brighter days for us with temperatures that'll be in the 50s on Friday and 48 on Saturday, which is pretty seasonable. Showers develop on Sunday, and then it gets interesting for Monday and Tuesday. You notice the temperatures only in the mid-30s, and we could be talking about the potential of some snow here across the area Monday into Tuesday, mixing with showers, of course, once the temperatures get above freezing. But plenty of time to fine-tune that forecast, Lauren. Our immediate concern, the threat of storms here this afternoon.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Coming up, it might be the ultimate gift, but only for the person who loves both the biggest hit on Disney Plus and a legendary muscle man. We'll show you what that is. Coming up next, you're watching WRTV News at Noon. Well, he's doing his part to make it a dog-eat-dog holiday. Hip-hop legend Snoop Dogg was among those handing out free Thanksgiving meals outside of SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, near Los Angeles. More than 2,500 families got turkeys and all the fixins during the drive-through event. Snoop Dogg partners with the city of Inglewood every Thanksgiving to hand out meals to those who need them. Well, if you're looking for a gift for a sci-fi and fantasy fan who has everything, this might be your answer. This morning, we told you about those Baby Yoda macaroons. Well, how about this mashup? The company called Wicked Joyful specializes in custom-made action figures, and here they've combined the Mandalorian with the classic He-Man series. There are two versions of the He-Mandalorian, each with the head of one of the title characters placed on top of the body of the other. Both of them are accompanied by a Baby Yoda dressed as He-Man's faithful magician companion Orko. Wicked Joyful is selling these figures at its website, but the last check of the site today, it shows they're no longer listed. Perhaps they sold out already. Maybe they did, Todd.
Maybe they did.
Popular item.
I don't know. All right. The steady rains out of the area now are on its way out, but you look back off to our west and you notice some storms starting to develop here across parts of southern Illinois. You also notice some storms near St. Louis. As we go throughout the afternoon hours, there will be the threat of some strong to possibly severe storms across most of central Indiana. You can see it on TrueCast here, these isolated storms starting to develop. So as we go throughout the afternoon, be weather aware, damaging wind the main threat, but can't rule out the chance of an isolated tornado this afternoon. The severe threat will end by 7 p.m. Your Thanksgiving is mostly cloudy but dry with a high of 54. Friday and Saturday sunny, and then a cold blast with some rain and snow showers by Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Todd, thank you, and thanks for joining us and making WRTV your choice for news. Come back tonight and join us for the news at 5. Have a great afternoon.